Good evening, gentlemen. It's Friday night. It's the 11th of August. Wow, we are getting towards autumn, aren't we? I can't say the summer's any good, but good evening anyway. And if you're watching this on replay, hello, good afternoon. Thanks for tuning in and have a nice day or a nice evening or whatever. Thank you. Okay, so I'll just say hello to a few people. Leeds is here. Oh, Leeds is kind of topical. Isn't that where that young girl got arrested by, the Bezies? Yeah, okay. Terrible. We'll have to talk about that in a minute. Leeds. Good evening, Eddie. Yes, I know about the film about me and messed about with the banks. I haven't got an appointment for my eyesight. I had an appointment last week, but now, a week later, I haven't got an appointment. And they haven't even phoned me up to tell me what's going on. Says a lot for them. Okay, Barry from EastEnders. Nice to hear from you, mate. Sceneries. Natural in the buff Vietnamese lady. Leads okay, whatever. Ginger Joe. Nice to hear from you, mate. Brian Street. Good evening, Brian. Crypto Chris Card. Nice to hear from you. Sceneries. Customer service everywhere seems so difficult to deal with nowadays. Oh, I don't know. It's just like bloody contacting the dead, isn't it? You may as well sit around, one of those seance things with a Luigi board. Or did I say that right? A Luigi board? Is Luigi in an Italian restaurant? Oh, we're going off the plot here anyway. Sean Young, nice to hear from you. David Coleman, nice to hear from you, David. David posed a good question, so we'll mention that in a minute. It's an important one. Sean Young, I hope you're getting stuck into Sean Young, I hope you're getting stuck into the banks tonight. I think the only way to get money out of the banks is to take a bloody mask and a sawn-off shotgun with you. I think that's the best way. Let's see. David Coleman, we all know what to talk about. Disgusting coppers. Okay, fair enough. Donald Trump, nice to hear from you, Donald. What is that? Charlie Stewart Wright. Oh, that's a good name, isn't it? Especially cops in USA, power mad. Okay. And at least, the cops in USA seem like they're dealing with something, like armed robbers. I mean, there in the cops, they're faced with bloody, armed robbers and all this kind of stuff. Here in this country, our coppers arrest a 16-year-old autistic girl for using an unpolitically correct word. Jesus Christ. Super nice to hear from you. Paul Hoskin, nice to hear from you, mate. Stephen Tutty is here. Good evening, mate. Ian Bowden. Hi, Ed, no from me. Ian's with his delightful Mrs. Barb tonight, so hello to both of them. I've met them both out in Pattaya, so Opal's well. Bobby Crush, okay. I'll take a little bit of a sip of my hot chocolate. See, this is how a dedicated teetotaler I am. Even on a Friday night, I'm having a hot chocolate. Oh, that's lovely. Oh, Bobby Crush. Look at what those coppers did to that poor autistic child. The next cop car I see parked up, I'm smashed it up. I'm furious. A lot of people are feeling that way, mate. Nice to hear from you, Bobby. Telecom. Good evening, Eddie. Your column writing friend across the back. Okay, you're nice to hear from you, mate. I know who you are. Great to hear from you, mate. I hope all is well anyway. Thanks for tuning in. And Brian, and I'll check out your column this week in Facebook. I look forward to seeing that. It's pretty soon. Cheers. Brian Street. Heat wave coming soon. Don't pack a heat wave. We want a summer, mate, not just a heat wave. Wayne Ritchie, nice to have you. Hi, Eddie and everyone. It's great to see you. I must say you've been looking great. I lost a total of £70 so far. £70. That's a lot of weight. That's what is that? What is that? That's 5 stone, isn't it? Jesus, that's a lot of weight. I mean, I could lose that. And but yeah, well done, Wayne. Well done. That's really good. I haven't lost anywhere near that, but anyway, McLaren is here. Mr. Eddie, how's it hanging? Well, it's a bit wrinkled these days, but you know that's getting old, isn't it? Anders Bergman, nice to hear from you. Bobby Crush, West Yorkshire police are evil. They stood by and watched the suffering of English working class children in Rotherham for over 40 years. Is that where Rotherham is? Is it? Is it the same area? Oh, God almighty. Sick. This is lovely, this. Hot chocolate. Remember, there's two types of hot chocolate you'll get. One of them's in like a straight carton. The other one's in a Kirby one, a Kirby plastic one. This is the better one. Oh, that's lovely, that is. That's absolutely lovely. Okay, but yeah, Bobby Crush, okay. Damon, Edened, can I have your sort code and account number as I'm leaving for Thailand on Thursday? Hope all's well. Okay, cheers, mate. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, if you've seen that video that I put out, what a total waste of space the banks. So I mean, I went there last week. I said I want an appointment, for the new account. He said, "Yeah, okay, fine. Here's your appointment. Brilliant." And then they throw a spanner in the works in that way. Well, and they haven't even got back to me either to tell me what's going on. Nice to hear from you, Damon. Yeah. Bobby Crush, we all need to go to the police directly. I can't wait for it to kick off now. Yeah, that's interesting, that, isn't it? An interesting point to make. We all know what's happened to that 16-year-old girl who called one of the coppers an L. She used the L word. She called it an L, or said she looks like her grandmother or her nan who is an L. And she got arrested for that. I mean, how sick is that? The thing is, this is a kicked off. I'm not advocating anything kicking off. I'm not advocating anything kicking off, but there's been cases where a young man's been stopped on a motorbike by the busies and it's all kicked off. I mean, this is a young autistic girl we're talking about here. I mean, it's just absolutely sick. It's absolutely sick. Okay, Bobby Crush, I can't put that on the screen, mate. Can't put that on the screen. Beyond, Stetzer, when are you heading back to the land? I leave the US for Bangkok, September the 7th. Well, when I think I've got my, my teetotal, I gave up the alcohol 4 months ago. And when I think I'm really, really cured of it, I mean, I probably am cured now, but give it a bit of time. Oh, I'll be back there, mate. I'm missing the place. Nice to hear from you. Paul Hoskin, I love Canada. Lots of beavers there. Okay, very, very nice to say. Nice comment. Okay, beavers. That's. I mean, who calls a beaver? I mean, I better be careful. Hadn't I? Because beaver, the Americans use that word, don't they? They use this. Go to this nightclub. There's loads of beaver in there. In Britain, we say get in there, lads. Loads of fanny in there. But I mean, YouTube, they don't understand the second word that I use, but the first one, that fairy little animal, I've got to be careful, haven't I? Ian Bowden, I'm also in the process of wanting to speak directly with a face-to-face human in my bank to transfer my mature ISA into a new one. We'll see soon how hard or easy that will be. I think I might have been gazumped. I've got a fair bit in my ISA, but the thing is, the possibility that someone with a lot more in his ISA came along. We thought, we'll take that one as priority. That's what the bastards do, isn't it? That's what the bastards do. Gemini Star, nice to hear from you. Ian Bowden, keep it dirty, though. Oh, as Barb is one of the lads. Okay, thanks. Nice to hear from you, Barb. Nice to hear from you. It's Telecom, okay? Telecom, yes, okay. Nice to hear from you, Telecom. Ian Bowden, great surprise to see you live stream tonight. Okay. I mean, I thought, you've got to be in the right mood. But I mean, the things that's got to be said. We're going to talk about in depth about that arrest that was made in Leeds. Yeah, Crypto Chris card. Cops terrorised autistic child but trans person. Terrorised is the right word, by the way. But trans person arrested for violent assault video showed cops treating them very gently. Have we got a tranny cop here? Have we got one of those yet? Has anybody actually seen one of them? It's only a matter of time, isn't it? It's okay, all right, okay, cool. I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go there. Gemini Star, Eddie, it sounds like it's NatWest Bank service. Utter crap. Okay. Paul Oskin, do you ever have pork pies anymore? I suppose I could have the odd pork pie. I suppose I could have it because I had a nice lasagna with toast, but I'm sort of fasting for between meals. I had a nice substantial meal early on the day, and then last night I didn't eat anything. I could have had last night. But I thought, wait a minute, am I really hungry? And if I'm not hungry, then don't eat. So I've lost a bit, not as much as I want, but I've lost a fair bit. I haven't had any pork pies anymore, but you never know in the future. Oh, that's lovely. That's absolutely lovely. Anders Bergman, Eddie is on the chopping block tonight. Okay, nice to hear from you, mate. Super nice. What happened? Okay. So I'm going to say what's happened because David Coleman sent me a message on Facebook because he wants to talk about this story about the young child, a 16-year-old. Is he autistic? This young girl. Now I couldn't actually find out in the report whether alcohol was involved or what the circumstances. I didn't actually see that in the news, the actual circumstances about how the police came to the house, or how apparently they picked the young girl up from somewhere. I don't know whether she was drunk or abusive or whatever, but she's a 16-year-old autistic child, okay? And basically, they took her in the car home, and then she said to one of the female officers, who is an L, she's an L, they basically said, okay, they basically said that, you can't just call someone an L these days, even if they clearly are an L, okay? And that particular officer looks like a bit of an L to me. Okay, so basically this is what happened for those who don't know it. Police launch investigation into teenage girl's arrest. I'll read that out again. Police launch investigation into teenage girl's arrest after lesbian nana comment. West Yorkshire Police have received a complaint from a mother saying her autistic teenage daughter was arrested for saying a female officer looked like her lesbian nana. Okay, fair enough. The video was uploaded to TikTok by her mother, showed the girl, 16, being detained by 7 officers. 7 officers! 7! As if there aren't enough bloody criminals out there burgling people's houses and mugging people. 7 officers detained this young girl for calling a fellow officer an L. Detained 7 officers outside their home in Leeds in the early hours of Monday. They forced a teenager. The police force said the teenager was taken back to the house at about 1 a.m. after a family member reported that she was intoxicated and putting herself at risk in Leeds city centre. Okay, so she was intoxicated and putting herself at risk. Okay. So she's a 16-year-old girl is intoxicated in the town centre and putting herself at risk. Right. Teenagers are teenagers. Even when they are, maybe autistic, they've got other teenage friends and they want to go out and enjoy themselves and get drunk and gob off to it, because that's what teenagers do. Adults do. People my age do it. No excuse. But young teenagers, they want to go out, and it's, provided they're not violent. I'm just drinking the rest of this because it's so good. Provided they're not violent or causing a threat to anybody. So that's understandable. She was intoxicated and putting herself at risk. Okay, so the police should go and help her and take her home. Fine. Yeah, okay, fine. Fair enough. The officer took it the wrong way and said there was a home, basically, and apparently then when he took her home, I think that's when she was getting, mouthing off. And she called the female officer, this female with short hair, not saying there's anything wrong with short hair. She called her an L. She used the L word. The officer took it the wrong way and said it was a homophobic comment. It wasn't. The officer then entered my home. This is the mother. My daughter was having panic attacks from being touched by them, and they still continue to manhandle her. They touched a 16-year-old girl. 7 officers were touching a 16-year-old girl. How disgusting is that? Of course, how frightening and intimidating that is. That's bloody terrible. A West Yorkshire police spokesman said a 16-year-old had been arrested on suspicion of a homophobic public order offence, but urged people to avoid reaching conclusions solely on the basis of the social media video, which only provides a very limited snapshot of the circumstances in this incident. Okay, so don't jump to conclusions. Did they arrest a 16-year-old girl or not? It seems that they did. There's no bloody conclusion to it. They did arrest her. Somebody burgles your house tonight and phone up the police. See how quick they are coming out to solve that. A female officer with short blonde hair can be heard saying she's going to be arrested. The girl's mother says she made a comment in her own house. She hasn't said anything to you. The mother says that the teenager is autistic, and the officer responds, I don't care. This is according to this newspaper. A male officer says the girl has aimed homophobic remarks at my colleague. Isn't that terrible? Police officers working with the public are getting nasty comments from the public. Oh my God, what do you bloody expect? When you work with the public, you got to expect that. I've worked with the public. Geez, I'm not an L, but I've been called far worse than that, believe me. A male says the girl named, homophobic remarks my colleague. The mother is heard saying, it's not a homophobic remark, she said. I think she's a lesbian like my nana. She later says, you're going to remove her for what? You bothered, she said the word lesbian. Her nana is a lesbian. She's married to a woman. She's not homophobic. More officers arrive and the girl is seen screaming as she's taken away. That is disgusting. That is frightening and disturbing and absolutely disgusting. That is the kind of thing that you would expect in a savage, third-world, draconian police state. This is happening in West Yorkshire. More officers arrive and the girl... A West Yorkshire Police Assistant Chief Constable, Oz Khan, said, we are aware of a video circulating on social media which, as is often the case, only provides a very limited snapshot of the circumstances of this incident. Okay, so I've read a bit about that. That just makes your blood boil. It just makes your blood boil. Okay, so anyway, here we go. Sorry if I've missed everyone. David Coleman, he suggested that we talk about this, so well done, David. They had no authority to arrest the girl on a public order complaint because she was in her own home. These cops broke their own law. Eastern man. So what's the agenda for tonight? Doom, gloom, illegal migrants and Clint Eastwood. Nice to hear from you, mate. Are you the real Eastern man? Bart Simpson. Sonny Copper with his love story. Okay. Yeah, Eugene Vincent. Hi, Ed. I'm going to see Enter the Dragon at the cinema tomorrow. It's 50th anniversary this month. Bruce, yeah. I kind of wish someone had done a Brucey on those coppers. Hi! I wish someone had bloody done it on them. Bobby Crush, the British state and the police can do whatever it likes to the English working class. We're the most oppressed and discriminated group in the country, in our country. Okay. Patey just won some about crypto there. McLaren, Hale and Pace had spliff smoking transsexual Dutch police. Okay. Eugene Vincent, Bruce died just before his release. That's very, very sad. Richie Rich, you want to be careful what you say about the bank. They will close your account. I didn't name the bank did I? I imagine they're all as bloody useless as each other. Damon, Ed, on Thursday, I went to my bank to draw out $4,000 for my travels for next week for Thailand, and I had to explain why I wanted it. My money. I mean, it's not as if you're a young child, is it, Damon? I mean, that's a bit passive. I mean, it's your money. Why do you want it? Well, that's it's none of their business, is it? It's none of their business. I mean, it's not as if you're a customer and you've got that kind of money in the bank. I mean, to say why do you? It's not as if you're purchasing the bomb making equipment. If I went someone that was purchasing equipment that could potentially be used to make a bomb, and they said, "Well, yeah, you know, why are you purchasing this?" I would understand that, but taking your own money out of the bank, bastards. Okay, I'm just going to deal with this one up to now. Bobby Crush, police won't go after anyone who's not. They just go for that low-hanging fruit. Okay. David Coleman, I saw a man with a beard and a dress today. Jesus Christ. Let's see. Telecom, I hope they wore nice lipstick at least. Okay. Bobby Crush. But Bobby Crush, the child was abused, assaulted, and kidnapped by the police. Yeah, I'll go along with that. The police are, yeah, absolutely. I mean, what says a lot for this officer? Now, I mean, when something like this officer, and there's pictures of this officer, you know, the L. I mean, the thing is, if I encountered the police, I have encountered the police, and I've seen a couple of L's. So one of the L was about bloody 4 foot. They're 4'10". Yeah. You know, one of these L's. I said, yeah, you know, and this was over a motoring incident, so you know, some time ago. And basically, if I come across, you know, officers, and one of them was clearly an L, I wouldn't call it an L, but I'm not 16 years of age. You know, this was a 16-year-old girl. You know, who's not fully developed yet. Yeah, you know, a young child really who's had a few drinks and doesn't know what she's saying. I wouldn't call an officer now. What I would have said to the officer, I would have said something like, you know, did your parents take it badly? Did they? You know, when you came out of the closet, were they a bit upset when you said, "Mom, Dad, let's sit down together. You know, we need to talk about something," and you know, maybe did the dad then say, yeah, I had my suspicions, you know, about that donkey jacket that you've been wearing recently. Yeah, you know, I would have, you know, phrased it a bit subtly. But, you know, a young 16-year-old, that's terrible. It's disgusting. That is terrible. That will scar that child. That is disgusting, to be intimidated by 7 officers like that and to be taken off to the police station. That's absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. Let's see. Yeah, Crypto Chris Cat, she didn't even say you're an L, but like my nana who is an L. I know she probably meant it in an affectionate way. Bobby Crush. Eddie, she was at a pride event with her sister. The child was Eddie, she was at a pride event with her sister. The child was having an episode and her sister called the police for help. The police brought her home and then they assaulted and kidnapped her. I hope they throw the book at those bastards. Have we got a police force anymore? I mean, every bloody day it's worse than the last. I mean, look at the report last week about the coppers, you know, strip searching this woman in a cell, and 2 hours of video footage has gone missing. Why? I seriously, that's the Greater Manchester Police. This is the West Yorkshire Police, the Metropolitan Police. It's all over the place. The bloody use. I think what it is with the police, I think what it is, it's the word results. They want to tick boxes and they want results, and they don't care whether they get a reason. A easy result is better than a difficult one. I mean, you know, they'd rather just arrest someone and get another result rather than face someone with a sawn off shotgun. You know what I mean? David Coleman. I took out $5,000 and my bank made me talk to the bank manager. I was so mad in Toronto. Okay. Okay, let's see. Ian Bowden. Why can't the government simply supply bottles of drinking water to those on the Libby Stockholm instead of taking them all off again until it's sorted? Let's talk about that in a minute. You just, it's a funny old world, isn't it? We've got these you know, this badge, which is about you know, bloody 0.0.0.0.0.1% of the actual number of migrants that's coming to this country. We managed to load, I think, about 35 of them onto this badge. When there's thousands more, you know, still waiting for their asylum application, and then all of a sudden, Legionnaires disease, yeah, you know, pops its delightful head. Jesus Christ. David Coleman, the poor girl will never be the same. I know she'll be scarred by that. I hope they take the police to court for everything they have. And this is going to be a watershed. This, I mean, I know last week you had the terrible case of the women strip search, you know, stripped in the cell by the police, and 2 hours of video footage going missing, which they still haven't found, and which you know, that's, to me, that sounds like someone's guilty of something if they're hiding the video evidence. The thing is, I think this incident with the young girl, I think this will be a watershed. I mean, the police have got to be reformed. The police are just not the police anymore. They're not the police. I mean, a 16-year-old autistic girl. I mean, with this, you know, even L's should be ashamed of this particular L. Yeah, you know, Jesus Christ. David Coleman, I don't care. Disgusting cop. Crypto Chris card. What is actually wrong with saying you are or look like what you are? I mean, the thing is, you know, if you go around it, you know, in a social place, or I mean, if a teacher was to call a child, you know, an L, well, that's terrible because the teacher should know better than the child, and that's terrible if ever it came to that. But the thing is, a copper, when a copper becomes a copper has got to be thick-skinned. They've got to be thick-skinned. They're dealing with the public, and a lot of the public, especially when there's alcohol involved, are bastards. I've worked with the public for years. I know what they're all like. I didn't go crying, you know, and somebody insulted me or called me a nasty word, and I've been called a lot nastier than an L. Believe me. I mean, the fact is, this copper should be sacked because she's political correct is one thing, but when you're not thick-skinned, and when you arrest a child for calling you something like that, that's pathetic. That is just pathetic. There you go. More comments there. Some angry people in the chat there. Ian Bowden. Ed, what sort of country do we live in? A bunch of youths decide to get together in big groups to loot a sports store in broad daylight in Oxford Street. Shameful. Yeah, because they know they can get away with it. I mean, because the law has just become a farce. It's become a farce. I mean, the police now do not arrest anyone. I personally think that a shopkeeper who invests lots of money into his shop, and as somebody stealing 200 quid's worth of goods, I think that is worse than a copper being called an L. I mean, these a shopkeeper who has a shoplifter who steals 200 quid's worth of goods, he's got a right to be angry. He's got a right to want that person arrested because that's his livelihood. And yet the police won't investigate that. They won't investigate it. Too busy. They're too busy arresting 16-year-old girls for calling people elves. David Mayer, nice to hear from you. Paul Hoskin, the bar girls call me handsome. Could be. Or is it just not your wallet that's handsome? David Coleman, last week I watched the old movie Caddy on Copper. It was great. Not like these pricks now. The old movie Caddy on Copper. The only Caddy I know is the telekinetic one. Bobby Crush, okay. Okay, but you're entitled to your opinion, mate. Telecom, for the right price, they'd call me handsome. That's a good line. They'd call me handsome. Brian Street. Told my ex-missus I was Bruce Lee. What Bruce Lee? Why? She said, because I had to enter the dragon. Like it, mate. Like it, Brian. Very, very good. Very, very good. Ian Bowden, apparently the blonde bird in Barbie has a fab cleavage on show. I still wouldn't want to watch it though, would you? No. I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to see that movie. Apparently, I've heard a lot of adults have seen. They make the excuse, oh, I went there because my girlfriend wanted to see. Yeah, lightly bloody story. But I'm not really familiar with that actress, Margot Robbie, but apparently she has. But I didn't know this until someone told me. Yeah, she was the blonde out of that marvelous film, The Wolf of Wall Street. Apparently, she was in Neighbours before that. But yeah, if it's the blonde girl from that wonderful movie, The Wolf of Wall, definitely one of Martin Scorsese's best of his later movies. If you haven't seen it, it's well worth checking out. Well worth looking. I've seen it twice, and I'll watch it again. The Wolf of Wall Street, I'm talking about, not Barbie. But yeah, she really is something. Telecom, agree with Bobby Cross. Yeah, absolutely. I do as well. Let's see. Telecom is the dragon like the treasure house. Yeah, okay. Double entendre. Bobby Crush. Okay, you've said that. You've said that, not me. Can't advocate anything like that. Ty Billy Boy. I wanted to draw £4,000 out of my bank a while back in the UK. Nightmare. All local branches ceased to exist, and I was told to go to the main branch with my passport for ID. I mean, don't they know you're the bank? I mean, the thing is that I go into the bank once in a blue moon. Once in a blue moon, but they know my face. Well, they did anyway, except now they haven't got anyone working there, except for two people who are useless. David Coleman, you're right, Bob. We're all so mad about this. I think it's a watershed. Of all the things that's happened with the busies, this has got to be, you cannot do that. You can't do that to a 16-year-old girl. And the idea, that when they paid, maybe they done the right thing when they acted and took her home because, she was drunk and she was at a risk of being, harming herself. Absolutely. That's, that's what you should do because 16-year-old girl, they go out and they enjoy themselves and they have a laugh and they get drunk and they do silly things. They fall over. This young girl clearly needs help, but to arrest her for that reason in her own home just defies belief. David Mayer, donkey jacket. What does that mean? Oh, the blokes, dockers used to wear them. Big butch men used to wear them. They used to wear them. You don't see them now, donkey jackets, do you? Telecom. Banks have no problem taking our money. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. They have problems giving you interest. I mean, oh God Almighty. Anyway, Bobby crushed the ballot box and protested dead. There's only one course of action left. Get prepared. It's coming very soon. Okay. Ian Bowden, why are we all so often angry with our police force nowadays? Were they not bent when they were younger? Maybe a few were, but they were forced to be fearful of back then, more so than now. I mean, when I grew up, I didn't get into any trouble or anything like that. Other people hated the police, bastards. But you know, I mean, the police were fairly brutal. I mean, the police in the olden days, you know, if they didn't like you, they'd drag you into a cell and beat you up. And I'm pretty sure that went on years ago. The thing is, nowadays you've got cameras, and let's be thankful for this being on camera, this incident with this young girl. Let's be thankful for the age of cameras and yeah, you know, video, because otherwise, I mean, if it wasn't that case, do you think we would ever get to know about this? This kind of thing probably happened years ago, but we didn't know about it because nobody videoed it in those days. But you know, when you were young, yeah, you were fearful of the police because the police, the police took no bloody prisoners. I remember when I was a young lad, I was climbing on bus shelters and whatever, and a cop car pulled past, and we all went to run. A policeman come here, you know, and he said to one of my young mates, you know, young boy like I was, the policeman said to her, "I see you up there again, and I'll F you." He said, police officer said, "That's my young boy." Years ago, they didn't muck around. They didn't muck around. Years ago. I mean, they bloody beat you up in a cell years ago. Whereas now, thankfully, we've got cameras now. But now it's just become ridiculous. It's just become ridiculous. Absolutely. McLaren, any police I've ever encountered, except a few, have been complete C's. Rhymes with month. Okay. Fair comment. Fair comment. Ivan, a few years ago, the useless police shot and killed a Brazilian fellow with a backpack. And well, they thought he was a terrorist. That was something. You know, that's another issue. I know all about that one. I know all about that one. He'd actually overstayed his visa. Don't forget. I'm not saying that's a reason to shoot him dead. But you know, that's an entirely different issue. That entirely different subject. Bobby Crush. The police are recruiting 5-foot-tall little girls. On Oxford Street, the coppers who stopped it were all big men swinging sticks. Why were the women coppers if they're as good as men? Fair comment. Fair comment. Let's see. Okay. Gemini Star. Many police officers use social media in a dreadful way. Yeah, like WhatsApp and I know what you mean. Stephen Tutty, we can't trust the police. Who can we trust? Well, I wouldn't trust the banks. Definitely not. Yeah. Ian Bowden, Ed, can you expect to visit Pattaya this winter? Now you're Tito. I'm missing that place. Definitely miss. I'm starting to watch more videos about Thailand and Pattaya and all that kind of stuff now. I mean, you know, the old enthusiasm is definitely coming back. But I'll keep you posted about that one. Definitely. Bobby Crush, any pride flags I will be seeing will be ripped down. Well, you know, ripped it. Yeah, maybe. But have you seen one with Zippy, Bungle, and Jeffrey, the rainbow one? Yeah, send that one to me because I like Zippy, Bungle, and Jeffrey. David Coleman, I saw Harry Miller on GB. I really hope he helps this poor girl. I'm not too sure who Harry Miller is. Telecom. I heard they removed the telephone cables in Pattaya, which has become a popular attraction over the years. The telephone cable. Oh yeah, I mean they did a work of art. They are those telephone cables. They were. I think they're going to remove them and they're doing all kinds of things. I'm not in Pattaya, so I don't know the latest. But I mean they are very very third world. You know, very very. They're really, really good fun because the thing is, if Pattaya was all sophisticated and modern, it just wouldn't look the same, would it? Bobby, because saying what you look like what you look like is actually not a crime. Well, I got to, I when I was young, and I had longer hair, and I had a moustache. I was always told that I looked like Bob Carroll, geez. And I didn't phone the police. Hey, officer, get 999. Get me the busies, please. Someone just said that I look like Bob Carroll. Geez, I didn't phone the police. Michael DiCaprio, nice to hear from you. Nice to hear from you, mate. Yeah, Gemini Star, most coppers nowadays are young, foolish. And I'd say another thing about the busies nowadays, an awful lot of those young ones, they're like boy racers. I mean, I've been driving, I've seen the coppers, I've seen the coppers, these young boy racer coppers, doing things, making maneuvers with their vehicles that if I did that, I'd be bloody arrested instantly. Yeah, dangerous drivers, some of them. Bobby Crush, very, very angry about this, definitely. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Yep. Fair comment. Fair comment. And David Coleman. Yeah, absolutely. Ricardo, try getting the police to move a group of gypsies. They won't go anywhere near them. They're petrified. Yeah, that's right. That's right. I mean, a bunch of bloody, aggressive gypsies. Yeah, lawless, aggressive gypsies move into the bloody field next to your garden. Try seeing the coppers doing something about that. Jesus Christ, it's diabolical, isn't it? Ginger Joe, Ginger Joe, the mother can be heard trying to explain that the child is autistic and therefore doesn't like to be touched. And is likely to be overwhelmed by the situation. But the officer responds, I don't care. Absolutely disgusting. They're absolutely disgusting. I hope a lot of them are just taken to the gun. I hope that child is compensated for that big time. That is terrible. That is absolutely terrible. In Bowden, we're booked our 5 nights accommodation there already for mid-February. Good value apartment next to Hilton Hotel on Beach. Good for you. That sounds bloody good. I am missing Thailand. Definitely missing Thailand. The old enthusiasm went for a while simply because I've been there quite a lot in the last year or so, and I've been there for a long time. The last year or so. But it's coming back. It's coming back. It's coming back. Yeah, Pele. I had your respect for staying away from the booze. Good job. Okay, cheers. Thanks for that. Yeah, Ian Bowden. Bob just slapped me for saying about Barbie's fab cleavage. Okay, so okay, not going to go there. David Coleman, sorry, Eddie. Carry On Copper. He's talking about Carry On. One of the old. I think was that one of the old black and white movies. Is there a scene in that, or it's an old British comedy like when a copper says to this drunken fella, and anything you say will be taken down. And the drunken fellow looks at this glamorous little bird in a miniskirt and says, "Knickers." So that was that movie. Ricardo, Margot Robbie played Sharon Tate in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Oh, real? Do you know what? That's a Tarantino movie. I got a little bit through that and then switched. I will watch that again. Think about Tarantino's movies. I think they're very, very slow. But yeah, but she's got. And I know she was wonderful in The Wolf of Wall Street. I know that much. Yeah, Telecom. Telecom. Eddie, last night I watched the Liam Neeson 2018 movie, The Commuter. I highly recommend it. Well, I watched it the other week for the second time. It is absolutely terrific. That is, Liam Neeson plays a great part, and it's mainly set on a train. And I won't tell you the plot, obviously, but that Liam Neeson's been in a lot of good movies recently. I watched that one twice, and that is well worth a look. I mean, highlighted the movie is the I'm Spartacus bit at the end of it. You know what I mean if you've watched it. Yeah, definitely a great movie. That great movie, well worth a look. Okay, I'm just gonna. Someone's giving me a super chat. Damon. Okay, yeah, Damon sent me a nice super chat. Thanks for that, Damon. 9.99. That's really kind of you. A little something for you, Ed. It was great to meet you in particular. Yeah, we met briefly. Really great to meet you, Damon. Hope we will meet again this year. Hope my bank doesn't mind me sending you a tenner. Oh, they'll probably investigate that. I'm sure they will. Oh, that's terrible. A bank asking you why you want to withdraw your own money, and presumably they know you well. I mean, they probably know your face. That's really diabolical. But anyway, thanks for that, Damon. Cheers. Thanks for that. Let's just go back a little bit in the chat. David Coleman's now thinking of going to Vietnam. Oh well, they're both well worth a visit. Well worth a visit. That's interesting. Bobby Crush, I'm gradually taking my money out of the bank and buying gold. I bought another two. One out. Okay, two and be buying more next week. The banks and the central banks hate that. Okay. I mean, what do you think of premium bonds? I mean, a lot of people, even the bank, recommended premium bonds to me. Even last year, when I actually spoke to a person at the bank, and I said I'm disturbed by the lack of interest in in a bank account, and he said a lot of people are putting the money in premium bonds. What do you think of premium bonds anyway? What do you think of gold? Come to think of it, David Coleman says he has a few ounces of gold, but it really is a long-term investment, and I don't really have the time left in my life. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, so anyway. Let's see. Bobby Crush. I remember massive coppers at the football with the proper helmets on. They look like giants and they had big sticks with lumps of brass on the end, and they weren't scared to use them. Oh no, I mean these bloody little munchkins that they have nowadays. It's bloody pathetic. It's absolutely pathetic. Adol Betton. Eddie, how did you meet with the bank go? Okay, made a video on it. Made a video on it. Ty Billy boy, you never left a police station in Liverpool with both shoes in the olden days. Always one went missing. Okay. David Coleman, I'm leaving my relatives and my ex-wife nothing. I'm giving it all to help straight good for you, mate. That sounds a bit bitter, that does. Lester Banks, it will soon be an arrestable offence to say get, honestly, there is a video. I've seen it a few years ago. It's one of those fly in the wall things about police. This is going back about five years now, and it was a program on the TV, terrestrial TV, and it was about coppers and coppers. There were some disorderly people about, and one copper actually arrested a guy for calling him a dickhead. The copper got hold of the guy and said, I'm arresting you. The guy said, well, what for? He said, you call me a dickhead. That's it. The copper arrested the guy for calling him a dickhead. And it's there. It's on a TV documentary. I've seen it. Oh, my God almighty. Let's see. Okay. Jonathan Barry. Ed, have you seen The Irishman yet? Another quality movie. Well, I'm a Scorsese fan because I love his old movies, but I must admit I thought that one was a little bit disappointing. Now, they're very, very long and very, very slow. Maybe I've seen it again, but it's definitely not one of his best. And when you think of all the people that it's where Ian Bound, I once got told by a cop that I was old and ugly enough to ride my bike on the. That was old and ugly enough to ride my bike on the road instead of the pavement. Fair enough, but I didn't know it was a common saying back then. I was about 12. Okay, a fair comment, fair comment. Yogi Bear. West Yorkshire police don't have a clue how to deal with people, with the mentally disabled people. And with the mentally disabled, what they did with that girl, the couple, is just abusing their powers and then stands outside. That particular police officer and their sycophantic bloody colleagues. That officer gives L's a bad name. She just, I bet you the L community is bloody embarrassed by her. There you go, Bobby Crush. Paul Oskin. Okay. Issa, man. I want to know where the lesbian police officer keeps it. I wouldn't like to smell it. I wouldn't like to smell it. Seaside, yeah, Seaside, Matthew Cartwright, nice to hear from you. Seaside Freddy, you know what happened to Sharon Tate? She was married to Roman Polanski at the time. Yeah, we know that story. We know that story. I liked another movie that was on, I think it was on Netflix a few years, but no one else liked it. It was a movie called The Haunting of Sharon Tate, and basically it was a bit of a strange because it wasn't the predictable story what you thought. It was about her having it was a strange story anyway. It wasn't the end and what you thought, really. But the actors, I thought it was very disturbing in its own way, and the actors who played it, I don't know who played it, but the actors who played it was absolutely superb. So it's called The Haunting of Sharon Tate. I liked it. If even if no one else did. Ian Bowden, now the nights are drawn in, Thailand seems more and more of a draw, eh? Okay, fair comment, fair comment. Okay, anyway, I'm just going to, Harold Betterson. Harold Betterson, hell yeah, Harold Betterson. Premium bonds are okay for a gamble. Money's safe, but needs 50 grand, okay? Okay, let's just see. Yeah, but, Ian Bowden. I got premium bonds, but so far I'm not getting a 5% return, but always a chance of a million one day. Yeah, well, yeah. But you have to have a lot of premium bonds, really. Yeah, I've seen charts about it all, and unless you've got mega money in there, you don't. It takes extreme luck. Yeah, John Key premium bonds payout rate is 4.65. It's looking at if you're winning, but that's the average pay. Well, maybe it'd be better putting it in premium bonds. Maybe. I've just never got around to that. Thai Billy Boy. I will buy the maximum premium bonds if interest rates were crap, but interest rates are pretty good now here. So savings at the moment for me. Okay, fair comment. I'll be back in a moment. Back in a moment. I'll tell you what. It's squeaky door time. Back in a moment. Okay. I'm going to get that off. Get that off a minute. Get that off the screen. Okay. Kiki and Jasmine, nice to hear from you. No, no, I've not seen that movie. Yeah, Cab Over Mike. My dad bought us all £5 premium bonds as kids, and I'm 65 years. My brother won 25 quid, and I was 50. Oh yeah, they're not. It's not a way to get rich, is it? Ian Barn, apparently premium bonds have upped the chance of winning due to stiff competition from my interest rates. I got 175 quid this month on 50k, but that ain't that good. Not really, not really. Delayed Dave, nice to hear from you, Delayed Dave. Eddie, have you ever been to Iceland? No, I haven't. I haven't. I must admit, the thing that would put me off Iceland is the notorious expense of the place. By the way, this is my favorite diet ginger beer from the co-op. Lovely. Nice. No, I haven't been to Iceland. I met somebody, a young girl who liked going traveling, and she'd been to Peru and all kinds of countries. But when she went to New Zealand, she went to New Zealand as well. But when she went to Iceland, she said the landscape there is better than is better than New Zealand. I would like to see that bizarre landscape and those volcanoes and all of that, but I wouldn't like to pay the prices for stuff there. Definitely not. Yeah. David Coleman, I have Canada saving bonds. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Crypto Chris card. Diet drinks use chemicals. Oh yeah, I know. We've come across that. I'll tell you what I'm going to do now. It's going to put the. I'm going to put this phone on anyway to see if anyone wants to phone up and mention anything about dinghies, people, and barges. And maybe we've talked a lot about that young girl today. Who was arrested by the police, the L Brigade. But if anyone wants to phone up briefly, or say hello, or insult me, or whatever you want to do, then feel free. I'm thick-skinned. You can actually, unlike some of those police officers, you can actually phone up and insult me, provided it's not lies or anything really, really lies. You can insult me as long as you tell the truth, okay? There you go. See, I'm thick-skinned. I've worked with the public. I'm a good example of someone who's worked with the public. I'm thick-skinned. I'm thick-skinned. I mean, if someone calls me an L, I'm not going to get the handkerchiefs out and start sulking and crying and say that person should be arrested. You know what I mean? You can call me an L if you want. Let's see. Delayed Dave. I thought, he's talking about Iceland. I thought it was going to be expensive too, but I just booked a return flight for 47 quid and a basic hotel for 53 quid a night. Well, that sounds good. That sounds good. Sounds good. That sounds good. But how about the food and drink and all that kind of stuff? I mean, is that going to say, well, keep us posted. Let's hear your report on that one. Nick Ross says Icelandic women are fabulous. Landscape is fabulous too. Okay. Telecom. Well, yeah, I stopped drinking diet soda years ago. Well, and I do know the script, but I mean, what do you do? What do you do? You got to drink something. I mean, I don't smoke, don't take drugs, don't have alcohol, so you got to do something. Yeah, Telecom also had some jumbo CDs back in the day. Okay, fair enough. Let's see. Nick Ross, Icelandic women are very forward and approachable men and are not shy. Most of them are very tall. Okay, fair enough. Okay. Not many people live in Iceland, are there? Not really. Tom Streeter, when are you going to be doing content for your main channel? Well, that's a travel channel, yeah. So I suppose when I get traveling again or close to it. Ivan, I visit Iceland each summer. The landscape is insane. The hot springs are to die for. Okay. Paul Oscar, the girls call me the coconut. Okay, fair enough. Make what you please of that one. Yeah, but telecom, well, they legalized marijuana here in Minnesota. Well, that's okay, isn't it? Yeah, that's okay. If it was all legal, I might be tempted to have a little blast at that, but I think it's too late for me to get into that kind of stuff. I've never smoked. Harold Batterson, does Iceland have beer bars and girls? Okay. Okay, I'll put this phone over there if no one phones. That phone number, by the way, that phone number, there's nothing dodgy about it. It's not a scam. Other people have phoned on that number, and it's just an ordinary mobile phone. It's a pay-as-you-go phone, and it's whatever you pay for the phone call, whatever you normally pay. There's no scam involved anyway. Telecom. I haven't had the toke since the 1970s myself. A toke, is that like a blow? It's yeah. I know someone who I know someone who discovered the wacky backy quite late in life, and it come to rule his life. Really, it really did. Let's say okay. Sergio, Eddie, you should consider the beaches of Egypt for your next travel. I tried to go to Egypt once and I got a visa for it, but they had that massacre at the Temple of Luxor, didn't they? And so they cancelled all the flights anyway. Okay, so anyway, okay, so that's the phone number. If nobody phones in, like I say, it's harmless enough, that phone. Other people have phoned in. It's not a problem. So don't think it's a scam or anything like that, because it is. Yeah, McLaren. Yeah, McLaren Clive says Ed Church is 5 minutes. He's been on more than anyone. He's been on more than anyone. Okay, let's see. Martin Ryder, nice to hear from you, Martin Ryder. Yeah, Nick Ross. See, you get all kinds of comments on it. Nick Ross, don't go to Egypt. I worked there for a while at Mega Shit. Okay, we're going to do something different. London Cab, Thailand. Nice to hear from you, mate. Nice to hear from you. Okay, good evening. Cab over Mike says 10 to 12 pounds a pint in Iceland. Oh my god, I have heard something like that. Sounds bloody awful. So no ski champs going on about Barbie head. This bloody good. Okay, so anyway, look at this. This is not Barbie. This is a picture. Let's see. This is a picture. Just look at it. Just look at that there. No, it's not me girlfriend. It's not me girlfriend. Okay. So anyway, let's just see here. Let's just see here. No, I'm going to get off there. Let's go on that one. Okay, let's see that one. Okay. That one. Let's see. Is it that one there? Is it that one? Is it that one? Now I think. I did. What is their name again? What is their name? I don't think it's that one. I think it could be. I don't know what her name is anyway. But anyway, it could be Sabrina Nicole or whatever. Okay. So anyway, the reason I'm putting this on the screen, right, is this beautiful lady here, this gorgeous blonde who's about 30 years old, sent me a message on Facebook and wants to be friends with me. And the first question that I ask is, why does a gorgeous 30-year-old sexy blonde want to be friends with a dirty, wrinkly, flabby, smelly old dirty bastard like me? Why does she want to be friends with me? Now, the thing is, The question is, let's get that off the screen a minute. No one's phoning in. The question is, yeah, there you go. That's the question. Okay, that's the question. There you go. Have you ever been scammed by Facebook girls? You get these all the time. I mean, the thing is, I can see them a mile away. I mean, sometimes I've actually had conversations with people like this who sent me. She probably doesn't look like that. It's probably a bloke. I mean, I don't mean that as a picture of a bloke. I mean, it's probably It's probably someone who looks like me who's actually masquerading under another name, who's after your money. But the fact is, the reason that people do this on Facebook. Beautiful girls or pictures of beautiful girls make friends with gullible old men. It's because some of those old men are gullible and they get money. I mean, if 99 fellas think, oh, this is a scam, I see through this one, there's always going to be one idiot, one foolish person. It won't see through it and will start parting with money. So anyone ever actually been scammed by a Facebook girl? Okay, let's see. Okay, Barry from EastEnders just tuned in. Who's that naughty woman? It's somebody who's made for. And what the reason that you can spot people like this is because when they make friends with you, always try and look at the profile who her friends, and often you will see a way to see the true nature of it is that her friends are also all middle-aged, overweight, chubby, wrinkly people like me. If she makes friends with loads of, it's obviously she's up to some. And yet there are fellas who fall for this shite. There are fellas who fall for it. Mister says lemon from seed sandfruit, 15-year. Okay, fine. Nice to hear from you, mate. Paul Hoskins says she's not blonde though. Charles Oliver says I'd hit it. Okay. Yeah, who's this? No, Ken. Okay. Brian Street says I would make it a sandwich. Okay. Now I had a conversation. I've had a few conversations with people like this. It's all a bit of fun. It's the kind of thing. Now, whichever country they come from, it's kind of a late night conversation. Just at the end of the night, at the end of the night, when you got nothing better to do, just take a look at this on Facebook. And if they know that you're active on Facebook, they'll try and make up a conversation. And it won't be very long before the conversation comes. They test the water. They need money. They're a bit down at the moment. They need money because the internet is failing. And the thing is, like I say, if they do this with 100 fellas, there's always going to be one mug amongst them. That's all they need. They only need one before they start making money. Let's see. Bobby Crush says the limit. Okay. Lester Bangs. Yeah, this is shout out to Rick. Ricky Drama mentioned you on his channel the other day. Said he regretted things he'd said about you before because he liked you when he met. I had a night out with Ricky. It was great to meet Ricky. And there is a video there on from Phnom Penh, a live stream, and it was great to meet Ricky. So I still watch him now. He's a real character. It's all in good fun. It's all in good fun. Great to meet Ricky. Best of luck to him anyway. McLaren, yeah, Gemini says a back door needs to be smashed in. Okay. Harold Batterson says is the trap. Telecom, did she ask if you had any money? They all do. They all ask if you. I mean, but they do it in a subtle way. Yeah. Here we go. Martin Ryder, she's after your hairy backhead. Okay, they all do. They all ask if they try and make conversation and they call you a hon. I mean, this is probably a bloke on the other end of all of this, using this photograph wherever he's got it from. And they call you hon, but they're very convincing. And when you think about it, some old man sitting there lonely late at night, you know, who've never really been round the block the way some of them. They will see this and they'll think, oh, I'm gonna, oh, this is so much to do. All they have to do really is look at who her friends are. And if her friends are all dirty, sweaty, wrinkly old men, like you and me, like me anyway, the chances are that, you know, she's out for money. Paul, Roy Gold, nice to hear from you, Roy. Have you ever considered using Wise? It's not a bank, it's a financial tech company. No, I haven't actually used it. No, I haven't actually done that. Paul Oskin, I think Lisa Dale should have played Barbie. Oh Jesus Christ! Lisa Dale has already been in the movies. She was the one who played Jabba the Hutt in the Star Wars movies. Ian Bowden, typical scam, absolutely. Telecom, maybe she likes your Facebook page. I mean, the thing is, when people like this, and I can say, you know, friends request, I can see lots of people like this. I mean, they're not after me for my handsome good looks. I'm a totally honest, open guy on my Facebook page. My photograph is me, unshaven, you know, scruffy. It's me. There's no pretensions with me. I am what I am. Yeah, you know, but she must think I have money. Rusty Led, nice to hear from you, mate. How's it going, Rusty Led? He's out, how's it, Pattaya. Whenever I hear Barbie, my mind thinks it's Bar Family. Okay, fair comment. Ginger Joe, Eddie, she wants to be friends because the money you make on YouTube, the bloody money I make on YouTube probably wouldn't pay for their bloody nail varnish. Gemini Star, typical Nigerian scout. Okay. McLaren, what are you trying to say? She's hairy. Thomas Streeter, Ed, that's Mia Malkova. Is that really Mia? Is she a tennis player? Is that who it is? Nick Ross, you can find women like that in vast numbers in the Russian Far East. Loads of them there, but materialistic, but gorgeous. Okay. Telecom, ask her what she charges an hour. Okay, that's a very, very honest, down to earth way of looking at it. Charles Oliver. Okay. Cab over, Mike. Rossi dressed up as a Barbie and went to see the movie. Okay. Ian Bowden, I occasionally get this type of thing on Twitter. I still haven't gotten into Twitter. I actually logged onto Twitter last week, and the other I've had a Twitter account for a few years, but I don't use it because I hear Twitter is really, really, really exciting, and there's all kinds of things going on there, you know, controversy that you need to know about. And yet, whenever I log onto Twitter, all as I see is pictures of a 93-year-old Clint Eastwood pushing a trolley at a supermarket. You know, I never see any of this. Mister, broke sadly. Oh, we'll send you a couple of quid. Kiki, looks like me and Milkova when she was about 25. She looks nothing like that now. She's ruined herself. Okay. So is anyway, yeah, Bobby Crush. Bobby Crush has got a story to tell. Bobby Crush, I was scammed by a woman on Facebook. She said the pan I bought off her was non-stick and my sausages stuck to it. Okay, I like it. Thomas Street, that's me and Malcolm. Really? Really? Oh, I'll have to check that one. I'll have to sort of Google that one. Telecom. I block them. I get these. I make friends with them. But the thing is, so with some of them, I make friends with some of them. But the thing is, Belinda Stoner, that's another one. Sabrina, whatever her name is. I make friends with some of these. It's okay. Yeah, Grace Steady, how are you doing? Yeah, Grace Steady is another one. One called Grace Steady. She's got a glamorous girl. She's got a picture of a pussycat as well. You know, I must know that I like a bit of pussy. You know, this is the conversation. hello, handsome. And then she gave me a video call, okay, which I missed. And then she tried again. Hello, Edward. How are you doing? I haven't actually found the time to get to answer that one. Lena Isabella. Lena is Isabella. That looks like a nice one. Where's Lena sent me a nice stick. They all want to make conversation with you. It's okay. It's all in good fun as long as you're not gullible. You can have a lot of fun with this. I've had good fun late night with conversation with these people, but it always comes down to, oh, I'm bored. What are you doing right now? Well, hon, right now I'm on the internet, but my internet's very, very weak because I don't have the money to pay for my internet to get it upgraded. You couldn't send me some money, could you, hon? Yeah, it's predictable. The thing is, there's always a tiny, tiny minority of fellas who will get taken in. I mean, they don't do it for free, these people. They do because there's some gullible person who's going to fall for it. Paul Hoskin, I'm not a dirty old man. I wash it twice a day. Well, that sounds filthy, that does. London Cab Thailand. Yeah, absolutely. Gemini Star, you hit the nail on the head, Eddie. Gullible old men. Mark Saunders, you've got to be careful on Facebook, etc. It's so easy to put up a fake profile picture. Get an older workmate falling for it via chat app. He thinks, I know some, I mean, somebody like he won't mind me saying it, Brian Street has had an awful lot of fake, Brian Street is here. Brian Street's deleted the chats. Brian Street's had people faking his profile. I've had it. I mean, I found out about it. Like Facebook friends messaged me privately and saying somebody's like, got a fake of you. He's using the same picture, the same name, the same everything. So I done a video about it and put the video out there. But the thing is, if I have a Facebook friend and all of a sudden the Facebook friend starts asking me for money or whatever, I instantly think, wait a minute, this is a fake. I'll investigate this. But not everyone's on the ball like that. Ian Barton, one great thing about being our kind of age is that we ain't naive anymore. Yeah, well said, well said. But Neil says there's no fool like an old fool. Charlie Knight says she lives in a hut in Rwanda. Okay. Ricardo, she wants to be friends with you, Eddie. Right, that's it. I'm done with it. Okay, okay. Fair comment, fair comment. Ian Barnes, she won't go for anyone on less than £1 million per year income. Okay. Yeah, Mister, have not thought of Jade Webber in a while. Don't know that one. Rusty Lid, the Nigerian prince scams are the errors to weed out those of even slightly intelligent. I think the Nigerian prince tends to target women, sad old women, wongas, more than anything, don't they? McLaren, your phone isn't working, isn't it? Isn't it working? It's got enough charge on there. It's got enough charge. It's up here anyway, isn't it? It's there anyway. The phone's there and it's got a signal. It's very, very poor signal, but yeah. Tom Street, if you do reverse image here, you'll see it in all of her glory. Okay. I had one of them. There was one of them, a big tetted Texan girl who I did make conversation with, and she wanted money. And when I looked down at the profile, look at all the history of her profile, I seen old pictures of African people in traditional garb and all this kind of stuff. I mean, she didn't say that they were her friends, but what were they all doing there? Telecom, did Eddie pay his phone bill? That one there, that's a pay as you go. That one is. Yeah. Barry from East End is probably a fella from a certain country that rhymes with Bendia. Okay. David Coleman, I'm cheap to call from Canada. Okay. Okay. Fair enough. Okay. Anyway, so let's see. Yogi Bear. Ed, you shouldn't judge everyone the same. Some people lose the capacity as they get older. Not everyone's a motor that tries to open his mind and are flattered by these girls. I mean, whatever. I mean, I suppose, you know, to an old, I mean, social media is a wonderful thing. I mean, there's tons of stuff on social media, but you've got to be cynical, haven't you? You have to be cynical. I mean, you look at a girl like this who said who wants to be friends with you, and I pressed the friends because it's fun. It's good fun. But then you look at the profile. As long as you know how to handle it, it's all right. It's a laugh as long as you know how to handle it. Bobby Crush, if you leave your cash in the bank, they'll take it when you come and bet bail-ins. Okay. Ed Sweeney's 20-stone wife back in England. I was offered the Barbie role but turned it down. No, the reason you didn't do the Barbie roles because they offered you ET instead. You look more like that. Telecom. Ed, ask her to be on your next live stream. That would be fun, wouldn't it? David Coleman, I get these messages all the time, and the first thing I do is delete them. Okay, fair enough. Okay, so anyway, we've had enough of that one there. Remove that one there. Okay, so anyone else want to mention anything? I mean, we don't want to go too much into the. We don't want to go too much into the into the stuff about illegal immigrants, but the barge, Jesus Christ, the barge is you know, oh yeah, it is something. Apparently, you know, Virgin, yeah, it is something. So something else to talk about anyway. Just before we go, apparently Virgin Galactic. Oh, get that off there. Get that off there. Let's see. Get that off there. Right. I've lost me space now. Okay. Virgin Galactic. Do you get? Apparently, the longer-awaited Virgin Galactic, Richard Branson, the space shuttle, whatever it is finally taken off and taking people, you know, for a trip around Earth, you know, orbiting Earth, and it sounds like it's finally. It's finally, you know, sounds good, but I mean, does it really sound exciting? Do you really think, wow, I really want to do that at that cost? It didn't sound very didn't sound very exciting to me. Yeah, Telecom says I get the gal to hold the door on for me, which is kind of flattering, I suppose. Okay. Brian Street, just on the news, Surrey police said the people want of a maiden, the 10-year-old girl in Woking, left the UK on Wednesday, on Wednesday. Well, that's another story, though. I'll have to have a look at that one. Telecom, yes, you could take a flight into space. It'd be all right doing a live. If I could do a live stream from there, wouldn't it? I mean, that'd be good fun. But the thing about Richard Branson, I mean, a lot of the stuff that Branson has done in his heyday in the 1980s, when he was always in the news. I mean, the stuff, the records that he broke and whatever. I mean, who cares? It was on the news once that he'd broken the cross-channel record in a boat or something like that. And who really cares? Do you really think, wow, brilliant, this is amazing? It's just to get the word virgin out there. Telecom, Steady Eddie and Earth Orbit would be a good YouTube channel. Okay. Charlie Wright, Stuart Wright, 200 grand, really? Is that what it cost? Well, if they've got the money, if they've got the money, then, you know, it's their money. They can spend it whatever they want. But really, Crypto Chris Guard, go for the ride, Eddie, and live stream it. Okay. But it doesn't really sound like a heap of fun. It sounds like fairly, you know, I mean, we've all done more exciting things. I mean, I used to look at airplanes, big jets when I was a kid, and think, you know, I'd love. I used to look at jets and pictures of Concorde and jumbo jets, and oh wow, it wouldn't be amazing to go on one of those. And when I heard of other people going on jets, I was envious. And now I've been on lots of airplanes and lots of jets and jumbos. And when I'm on them, I just want to get off them again. It's not that I'm afraid of flying, but I mean, you know, going on a jet, so bloody what? So what? Been there, done that. Daniel Kelly, 5-ball XL5. That was a great series, wasn't it? Ian Bowden, I don't give a shite about these pointless ego projects. I don't blame you. The Telecom, wonder if the rates are cheaper on the weekdays. And apparently, how long does this take? It only takes a few minutes. What was it, 20 minutes or something like that? And all of that. It was like these people who went on the submarine. Okay, well, at least these people here, these Virgin Galactic punters are actually going into space. Whereas I'd rather do that. I'd rather spend money on that rather than what those people did on that, ramshackle submarine going to see the Titanic. Brian Street, 35,000 feet is enough for me. Absolutely. Cab over. I used a good old trick of a cold caller last week, trying to flog me UPC windows, just telling me live in a council house. She soon put the phone down. Fair enough. Telecom. If a 90-year-old William Shatner can go up there, so can you. William Shatner's quite amazing because if you actually look at him when he was younger, or when he was in the Star Trek or just after the Star Trek, he didn't really look like that healthy, did he? It's not always apparent who's going to live to a ripe old age and who isn't. I mean, I seen William Shatner on a TV interview in the late 70s. And, I'm not saying that he was, but he looked a bit like an alcoholic. He looked like he liked his beer. I don't know if he had a history of that or anything. But 10 years after Star Trek, he didn't look like a healthy man. But now, all these years later, 90 years of age, and he's going into space, it's not always apparent who's going to live to a right old age, really, is it? Eason, man, after the Barbie and Ken movie, what would he make next? Cindy and Paul or Meghan and Harry? I think they already have made the Meghan and Harry ones, haven't they? Bobby Crush, Richard Branson is dodgy. No wonder he called his company Virgin. Oh yeah. I think I'm with you there. Ian Bowden, Branson is just another billionaire ego tripper. Do you know what? You've got to admire Richard Branson. I mean, he's got get up and go, and he's a billionaire and all that. And he's amazing. He is quite amazing in his own way. But in the 1980s, I hated him. There were three people who used to always be on the TV in the 1980s. Used to always hug. They used to get into everything. One of them was Branson. The other was Phil Collins. And the other one was Ian Botham. Those three people, they were never off the TV. They were always caught in controversy or publicity or whatever. Got on my nerves. Martin Ryder, Musk and Zuckerberg cage fight confirmed in Italy, but the Colosseum has been ruled out. This could be the once-in-a-lifetime bitch fight. Oh, we've got to see that. We've got to see that. That sounds like fun, that does. They're having it in Italy. They're having it in Italy. I suppose afterwards whoever wins, they can shake hands and go and have a lasagna and a glass of Chianti together. Okay. Bobby Crush, it's not even it going into space, it's just in Earth's orbit. Yeah, no load of crap. Yeah, Charles Oliver, it's your ride with the Ruski. They want to go back to the moon, okay. Ian Bowden, am I jealous of those bastard billionaires? Damn yes. Yeah, yeah, I'm jealous of them as well. But I'd spend my money on something else. I wouldn't bother with that. Gemini Star. I met Richard Branson years ago when he had Virgin Records in Ladbroke Grove, London. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, Yogi Bear, Ed Branson has had to get the thing moving. It's like pouring money into a black hole. He said himself. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's been a long time. It's probably, yeah, you know. Bobby Crush. I had to go on a jumbo. Anyway, enough about Lisa Dale. Okay, fair enough. Okay, anyway, listen. Yeah, McLaren, Eddie, on a serious note, go into your phone settings and tap on Wi-Fi calling or swipe down and do it. Boost your call then, mate. EE does this. How many? Okay, 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 okay. Okay, we'll get that sorted sooner or later. Apologies if anyone wanted to phone in, but wasn't actually up and running. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to finish off now. Telecom says Musk and Zuck screaming and slapping each other. Yeah, okay, I want to see that. That would be funny. That would be funny. It's a funny old world. Martin writes, the wife's away visiting their mum, so I've been on the sauce last night. Half a bottle of vodka, a bottle of red, and several Brewdog beers. Watching the film Candor. Brilliant night. Oh, with Jared Butler. Okay, I'll have to catch you up with that one, definitely. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to say good night now. Anyway, this is like a pop-up stream. We had to do that about that. You know, let our thoughts be with that 16-year-old girl who was terrorized by the police. And let's hope that it is a watershed. Let's hope that it causes change. You know, we need something to bloody change. Anyway, I'm gonna say good night now anyway. And I'll see you. I'll be back on Monday. I'll be back on Monday at 9 o'clock. Yeah. So in the meantime, have a lovely weekend anyway, and stay safe. And I'll see you on Monday at 9 o'clock. All the best, guys. Cheers.